is Terry Burrell, and my role is Billie Holiday in Lady Day at Emerson Bar and Grill.
All right. So tell us a little bit about this production that you're involved in.
Well, this evening it takes place at Emerson's Bar, which is kind of a seedy little bar in Philadelphia. She had played there many times, and this is about 3 months before Billie Holiday actually transcended her life. This evening, there were just maybe a few people actually in the audience. She has been in prison, just gotten out of prison, spent a year and a day in prison, was very traumatic for her. And she lost her cabaret card, which allowed her to sing in the clubs in New York City. So she's back in Philadelphia, and she's really fallen on hard times. She was doing very, very heavy drugs at the time and drinking a great deal, and you see it throughout the production. You begin to see the gradual decline of her during the show. But you hear those amazing songs that she sang, which are still timeless to this day.
Yeah, I thought you guys did a great balance of storytelling and performances.
Yes.
Kind of give me an idea, what was kind of your musical approach to this role?
Well, there's no way that you can do anything that has the name of Billie Holiday on it and not give Billie-isms. But I'm not Billie Holiday. I have my own kind of voice. So I really had to listen to her very carefully, how she phrased. So
I love you, Poggy. Take me. Don't let him handle me and drive me mad. If you can keep me, I want to stay here with you forever, and I'll be glad.
So I've been trying to get it as close as I can, and there's little things like she does like this when she's singing her song, you know, that I give, so that people go, ah, it's Billie Holiday. Mm-hmm. She tells story through her singing. So you can't, it's okay to go for the Billie-isms, you need it, but you also have to be able to tell the story through the song.
Now, as you were doing your research on the role, kind of what surprised you? What did you learn about Billie that you kind of didn't know beforehand?
I think I did not know how close she was to her mother. I did not know, for instance, that for a time she worked as a prostitute in Harlem. I did not know that from the time she was very, very young, how hard she always worked to try to keep family together. There was a time, for instance, when her mother had to go to New York to work, and she stayed with a cousin. And this cousin used to beat her every single day. I mean, this child did not have an easy life at all. She never had an easy life. But what I admired about her was that she refused to live life like a victim, even though she was victimized at every turn you could think of. She refused to live like a victim. Mm-hmm.
Now, I would say one of the things that surprised me, I don't know if this is something that you guys did, you had artistic license with, but she's kind of rough around the edges.
Well, she is rough around the edges. There's no artistic license with it. That's the way she was. And if you read her autobiography, Lady Sings the Blues, she talks just like that. You know, she's profane, you know, but she's also, it's mother wit, it's common sense, and it's saying, I live my life unapologetically, and if you don't like it, and you don't like the way I talk, too bad.
Mm-hmm. What do you think is so attractive to her, like that draws people and audiences to her story?
It was just something about her and the way she sang. You know, there's some people who, they're a mystery when they're performing. You don't know what the mystery is. You want to get behind it. And there was a fragility to her that I think is appealing to a lot of people. You know, she thought at the end of her life that people just came to see her sing to fail. But she's just one of those people, like Judy Garland, for instance, like a Edith Piaf, who people just love. The sort of national consciousness just loves these people. It didn't matter how they lived their lives or how messy it was. It was just something about them that transcended all of that. So people who came to hear Billie Holiday came because they wanted to hear Billie. And I think that's why people come here to see her. We've been doing very, very well at the box office, and they want to hear Billie Holiday. And that's, again, why it's so important to try to get as close as I can to the way she would sing the song, to honor her. Not to imitate her, but certainly to honor her.
No, you definitely had the chops to pull it off.
You know, I studied classically when I studied, so my voice, I think, lends itself to sounding like her. My voice is light, like her voice was light. And I've just had the years of experience that gives me the freedom to know how to find beats when I'm talking, because so many of what's in the script is just like one giant monologue and stream of consciousness, and you have to make sense of it. You have to think like the character thinks. You have to know why she says things the way she says it. Billie never goes directly to the point. She talks all round robin before she gets to the point. And you have to be experienced enough, I think, to be able to give it enough color so that it holds people's interest.
So is there one thing you have to get right about Billie when you play her as a character?
Well, the first thing you have to do, because of the way the script is written, is that you have to master the text. You have to. You have to know what you're going to say next, and then the idea is to play with it, to get as close. Her voice, her natural speaking voice, was very gruff. It was very rough, but her singing voice was very clear, and she says that, you know, in her book. So that's a huge challenge, because it's very, like I said, it's very stream of consciousness. Listening to it on stage, it doesn't seem that way, but if I were to put the script in your hand and said, read this and learn it, you would go, oh no. But I'm getting more comfortable with it. And then, of course, once you master the text, then you don't want to say it as though you already know what's coming next. Because if you were doing cabaret and you were just, you know, schmoozing with the audience, you wouldn't necessarily know what you were going to say in the next moment. But you have to be very free, very comfortable, especially that last monologue where she's not even aware that the audience is there. And she's talking about things that were very, very painful in her life in a very free and open way. And you've just got to be that free and that open.
Mm-hmm. Now, in addition to you being a part of this play, you also had some help from another species, I guess, from a dog. It kind of stole the show.
Yes.
He was really sweet and get a lot of oohs and ahs. Kind of give me a background of how he ended up being in this production. This is your dog too, right?
Well, first of all, it's a she.
Okay, see, I'm sorry.
Actually, they knew that they were going to have a dog in the show. It's written into the script. And Billie loved dogs, and she had one particularly favorite dog of hers, Peppy, who was a Chihuahua. And so they had somebody bring in a dog, but she was not going to be able to be here every time. Well, what are you going to do, use a fake dog? So they decided to use a shelter dog, but somebody had to foster the dog. And I spoke to my husband, Stephen Moses, about it, and he said, okay, fine. But in the meantime, at Christmas, my niece was at my house, and she heard me talking, and she said, well, Auntie Terry, I have a dog that I need to give away, but I just don't want to give her to anybody. And so I said, well, let me see a picture of her. And I fell in love with this dog. She's a little Yorkie. She is the sweetest little thing. She's like a little angel. And we've been together almost 3 weeks, not quite 3 weeks. And what this dog had to go through when I first got her, I mean, the very first day she's dropped off at my house at 7 in the morning. She doesn't know who I am, doesn't know what this house is. And then I brought her to work to rehearsal. So it's just a testament to her beautiful temperament that she was able to overcome that. And now she knows everybody at the theater. They all know her. She loves them. They love her.
So she went from with your niece to being on the stage in a matter of 3 weeks, huh?
In less than that, in about a week and a half.
Wow.
You know, and that's
put her right to work.
Right to work. And now she's quite comfortable. She knows this is home. She knows who her mom and dad are. And now she's growling at other dogs when I walk her.
All right. Yeah. Well, you both did a great job. We appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
If people want to find out more information about the show, how can they do so?
Well, go to the website. Go to Theatrical Outfit, Lady Day at Emerson Bar Grill. It's on 84 Lucky Street in downtown. There's a telephone number where you can call, or you can order tickets at the box office. And here's a little treat. If you put TO actor, you can get like about $10 off the ticket price. We are here until February 4th, and we do one show on Wednesday, 2 on Thursday, 1 on Friday, 2 Saturday, 1 Sunday. So come on down and hear a little Lady Day.
And there you have it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.